And I think they violated, also, if I'm not mistaken, I think they violated
His.
they arrested him without reading his rights.
Oh. I think they remember. Oh, they turn around. Who was in that backpack?
That's what they, I mean, that's what, I don't know, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what some people were saying. That it was like, because of where he was arrested, and where was it, Pennsylvania? McDonald's in Pennsylvania, Virginia, wherever he was, and people were like, I guess the cop that arrested him was like a rookie cop. You know, like they don't handle these type of cases. So he just kind of like, they went up to him and I think they asked him, he said, "Are you Luigi?" That's what it was. They asked him, "Are you Luigi?" So it's like the way they, how should I say, they should have asked for his ID.
Right.
That's what they should have said.
And then say,
Say, "Hey, you fit the description of somebody looking for, can I see your ID?" But he said, but he accused him of being Luigi, something like that. Then they arrested him, and then again, that was a violation. The way he was arrested was something fishy about it. That is like violates constitutional. Can you imagine if he gets off on something like that?
oh yeah, a little technicality on. That's what I wanted to see.
Let's see what.
Oh, that's a pickup for the block. What across you from McDonald's? I mean, from the Starbucks. Which is, I think that's where you got it last time. I put it up my app.
Explain to me, Rougier. That's my son's bedroom.
Get out of the way. There we go. Hold it right there, it stays. Let it change all the, do all the changes. All the changes. Come on. down with the osmo, get out of the way. What was that saying?
Got a new hairstyle.
You're going to bring him in out a few years or no? You're going to bring him in here into the front.
Not from the street, but inside. You're not gonna see the street at all. I don't know how these business things or other buildings go around.
Oh, they go into the big condos
Yeah.
there.
Yep. Some of the tunnel and skips. They even got a GoFundMe truck. I missed that one. The first truck said GoFundMe.
thing and put the van right in the way. Let me put that damn thing somewhere else. Yeah. Right over there.
We're gonna bring Luigi out of there and go in. That's a different story.
Well, yeah, he just messed up that shot.
Social security number.
No, that I won't.
So, trespass. All right, who's coming across the street with me after this? To play with
I guess I will.
We're gonna get some couple people, a couple of shots.
What time is it?
8.
They don't want.
What time does it now start?
Oh,
9.
Yeah. See what time it is.
I wasn't sure. Are they allowed in the courthouse or no?
Well, Roy went.
No, I'm saying
Oh.
these people aren't.
I don't know.
I don't know because like with Diddy, it was public. Anyone could go in.
I think the only.
Yeah, people could just.
I think the only enough to get a seat. Get a spot.
Yeah, I think you need a spot.
So once you go to this spot, that's it.
Hello. Okay. If I remember, hopefully. Okay. Where do the signs go?
Stay over there.
Behind him.
The van. Oh, he's leaving. Oh, good. That's the worst place to put a van.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. My hair. It's the wind. Thank you.
Have some super glue.
Oh, there we go.
You want to do the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just start. You can pan over in the beginning. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, Rosanna and Kurt, good morning to both of you. I can tell you that this court hearing starts at 9 o'clock, so just under an hour from now, and it has already become quite the spectacle, which is usually the case anytime Luigi Mangione is in court, whether it is on state or federal charges. You have a flurry of supporters here outside the courthouse. They showed up maybe a couple of hours ago, 1-2 dozen supporters perhaps holding signs, banners. They have been pretty quiet for the most part, but you see a whole bunch of media out here and police, because this is a very high-profile appearance. Now, again, Luigi Mangione's state charges are in question today. Lawyers are pushing to have them dismissed. They say that dueling state and federal cases could amount to double jeopardy, but prosecutors maintain that they involve different legal theories. Mangione was indicted on 11 state counts, including terrorism. He's pleaded not guilty to all charges. If the judge permits the state case to move forward, Mangione's lawyers want him to toss the terrorism charges and bar prosecutors from using evidence collected during the arrest last December, including a 9mm handgun and a notebook allegedly detailing Mangione's plans to whack an insurance executive. Prosecutors, in the meantime, want the judge to require Mangione's lawyers to state whether they'll pursue an insanity defense. Mangione last appeared in court for his state case back in February. He was arraigned on federal charges in April. The 27-year-old Ivy League grad is accused of gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. He was arrested at a Pennsylvania McDonald's after a 5-day-long manhunt and then extradited back here to New York. So again, some big differences between the state and federal charges. These state charges carry a maximum sentence of life in prison and allege that Mangione wanted to, quote, intimidate or coerce a civilian population. The federal charges carry a max sentence of death and allege that Mangione stalked Thompson before killing him. They do not include any terrorism allegations. And again, a lot of people gathering here outside court ahead of the appearance. Everyone really eager to see what comes out of this. Kurt, we'll send it back inside to you. Thank you. I would have forgotten. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I get this truck going, this truck going by, with Mangione big picture, and one say GoFundMe.
A GoFundMe?
Yeah.
It's a circle. You see this, this.
So break off from this, and I'll just take the whole thing.
They gave me like a full cover on that lid. So there were 2 of them are like sandwiched together, and I couldn't get them off, so I can't drink out of it.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, I guess that's the way. Like instead of the stickers, they put double the cover.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what they did, but they like wouldn't come apart.
The wireless.
today?
We're going to court today. Hey, next week, you guys got the Luigi hats. You have the banners. You have the
People know what actually
don't make excuses for
Come on out, let's go. No, they're moving.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's right. They're going over by the door. We should be good. Oh, what's this? Oh, let's disconnect this one.
Where are they going? Are they going in court?
I don't think so. All right.
You can't be slow.
Stick them up. I think we gotta go around. Is there an opening over there? Oh, yeah, the cable.
What was the protocol? Then just
Where's the mic? Here you go. Real.
Thank you.
Come on with.
Follow those two.
All right. Where do you go?
Oh, what about
Yo, if they're not going, then we should try to get the ones across the street. Oh, they're coming over here.
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Oh, beautiful. They came to us.
Yes, they're coming to us.
You don't even have to walk.
Hi. How are you?
You want to grab that? Yeah.
And if you want to talk to us today,
Happy to explain what this is about.
can you please? Please.
Okay, so as you can see here, we have a spin the claims wheel. You can find out if you're approved or denied. Would you like to give the wheel a spin?
I'm going to pass on that just because I have to remain impartial. I'm a reporter. But can you explain to me,
Okay.
why you're here today
Yeah,
supporting someone who killed someone?
If I were to spin this wheel, let's say I had cancer and I need to get my cancer treatment covered. You give the wheel a spin, see if we're approved or denied. We are waiting to find out. We are denied. So, in that case, I would give you or whoever spins this wheel, this is an RIP. You were denied, unfortunately. Your cancer treatment was not covered, and it may have cost you your life, like it did in the case of Forrest Van Patten, who he needed cancer treating drugs. His doctor recommended a treatment that is the only treatment that might have saved him.
You know what? I'll just hold it back there.
Thank you so much. The treatment might have saved him. He died not realizing that the denial he received from his insurance company was illegal. They had actually passed laws in his home state of Michigan saying that when your life is at stake, when there is life-saving medication that can save your life in cancer, the insurance company can't deny. He didn't know that. He died without knowing that. And there's no recourse for his family or for many people like him. And so the reason I'm out here today is to shine the spotlight on people like that, on their stories. Actually, his story is on the truck right now, Forrest Van Patten. Another person whose story is on the truck, who is fortunately still alive and would be happy to speak with you if you would like to follow up with him, is Michael Kisling. So he has May Turner's anatomy, which means the veins in his leg cross over when they should run parallel, making him prone to blood clots. He needed a stent in his leg to keep the veins separate so he wouldn't get blood clotting. United Healthcare denied him the stent. His leg swelled up like a watermelon. The flesh began to rot because there was no blood flow. Ultimately, he had to choose between his life or his leg. He had to get the leg amputated. This completely changed his entire life, and at insult to injury, when he wanted to learn to walk again with a prosthetic, United Healthcare denied his prosthetic as well.
So is this a message you're sending to that particular company or to insurance companies? What would your message as a whole be out here?
So my message as a whole is that these people's stories, unless they are told, the insurance companies don't do anything about it. And we can see the example of that with Amanda Bolton, who she had a cardiac incident. She was unresponsive. First responders arrived. They needed to airlift her to the hospital. They did manage to revive her. She was billed for the airlift for $60,000 because she didn't get it pre-approved. She couldn't call for pre-approval because she was dead at the time. Her heart was stopped, no pulse, no breathing. She appealed and explained that she had no pulse at the time. She couldn't get it pre-approved. She was denied again. She appealed again and again and again to no avail. They were telling her she had to pay the $60,000. Do you know when that changed? She finally had her story picked up by local media. As soon as it was picked up by local media, she got a letter from her insurance company saying, guess what, we made a mistake, there was a technical error. You don't owe us for that airlift. So that's the only way that these companies are held responsible right now, is when the stories hit the media. Right now, Michael Kisling's story, not big enough yet for him to have gotten any sort of justice. So we're hoping to shed light on stories like his, hoping that if there's enough media attention, maybe things will change.
Thank you very much.
I'm like, as long as I'm healthy,
my name is
like on the
Aiko
surface.
Aigore, and I'm with People Over Profit.
Thank you so very much. Let's see. Oh, wow, there's a lot of people out there.
So last question, do you think Luigi shot the guy? You think it's tough to see? Or?
I think Luigi Mangione is innocent. That he's innocent. I maintain his innocence. I believe in that.
Well, they've had nothing that they've had no DNA evidence. They've had no physical links from Luigi to the actual DNA of Brian Thompson. Nothing like that. So,
There's nothing
yeah.
substantive. This is a ploy to make sure that nobody acts out again, but it's actually going to create the opposite effect.
I always do wonder, like, if it could be a
Okay.
setup, a part of a try to exert more control and add instances of violence and sympathy for like executives and stuff.
But that's what I'm saying. But they would like to create that sympathy, but you're supposed to decide by a jury of your peers. That means that your own group gets to say if you're guilty of the crime or not. And I don't think any of his peers would say that he's guilty. I think it'd be hard for us to find it.
Well put. And another thing is right now he's pleading not guilty. He could remain that. He could later on plead not guilty by reason of insanity. Do you think that might be a decent defense? The healthcare system could have driven him insane. His family members were suffering.
I mean, I'll leave that speculation for that because
Sure.
right now he's innocent and he's not claiming to be insane.
Amen. Amen. And have you supported his GoFundMe in the past? And, awesome. Good for you. And are you going to be out here in the future once they do a trial and everything?
I love to be out.
Love it. Cool. So here in other cases, hopefully we'll see you. Awesome. I'm Josh, by the way. Johnny, pleasure to be here. You're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate
Johnny,
it.
can you talk to us as well?
Now, the way you ask questions, they're a little leady.
Oh, they're leady.
They're
What
a
am I
little
doing?
leady.
I didn't.
Johnny's on business.
You tell me, Johnny.
You seem a little leady.
I'm not. Maybe I'm intimidating.
No, I'm not intimidated at all. Like I said, like you lead. Like you were like, why are you supporting someone who killed someone? That's leading. That's
Well,
leading.
no. That's I'm
leading.
asking you. No, that's a
But
question.
he's not guilty. So
That's
that's leading.
your opinion.
That's what he said.
The court's got to figure that out, though.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so I'm just going to ask you, you tell me, explain to me what you're doing out here.
Okay, but like I said, I find you a little leady.
I'm not being leady. I'm just asking a question.
I'm saying what I think. I heard you ask them questions, and I was like, I didn't like that.
Okay, all right, but he did kill somebody. I'm just asking.
He says he's not guilty.
Okay, all right.
I thought you were going to ask questions.
I'm asking a question.
No,
so
you
tell
just
me.
made a statement. You
Okay,
just said he
why
killed
don't we
somebody.
have Phil ask the question?
Just first and foremost, just tell me, this is Luigi Mangione's pre-trial hearing. What preempted you to come out today?
I think this is a case that speaks to a lot of us. I think a lot of us are suffering under the healthcare system. We have a shared mutual investment in seeing that it is corrected. I also, as a black person, see an innocent man being hung up for a crime that he said he did not commit, and an anxious system to throw the book at him, which I, once again, as a black person, do not support.
I mean, and we have the court of law, innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
There was that surveillance video that was captured last December. What are your thoughts on that?
Of a man with nice teeth. There was surveillance video of a man with nice teeth. It wasn't him.
Just tell me, I hear a lot of people talking about universal health care, things like that, health care that's provided in other countries, and, comparing that to health care here. Do you think that this is also looking at a larger issue, so to speak?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, healthcare, not having universal healthcare is it's basically a form of population control, right? If you cannot afford to fix your illness, you will get sicker and you will die. And that shouldn't be how it is in this country.
Saying that he should be freed or that the process should be
He's not guilty. He's innocent. He's not guilty.
So the process shouldn't play out to get to that point?
I don't understand what that question is.
Well, the court. Do you think court should play out to see if he's guilty?
If I think it should play out or not is not the point. It's playing out. So he's in. I mean, in my perfect world, he would have said, "I'm not guilty," and then he would have left. But that's not how the world works, right?
That's not how it should work. Then everyone would just say they're not guilty, and then they would walk free, even people who may be.
But the evidence is circumstantial. He wasn't Mirandaized. The book bag, like, who brings the book bag to the McDonald's? Like, it's fishy. Like, if I did that, I wouldn't bring the book bag to the McDonald's. I'd leave the book bag somewhere else. That doesn't make sense.
And if he is found guilty, do you believe?
I believe that that's a ploy by the government to make sure that the rest of us continue to fall in line. I believe it's a farce.
So you think the person in the surveillance video is somebody else?
It's a different person.
Thank you. Can you tell us your name?
Jonathan Gartrell.
Spell it for me.
Gartrelle.
And Jonathan.
Jonathn. No H in there.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
The notebook that was found. You think that was?
So, like, I have strong feelings about manifestos. I think that, like, that's something that, like, a teenage guy writes when he's not getting enough dates. So I don't even think that's credible. Like,
I don't like the word either. It kind of.
It's like, who sits down and is like, I have all these horrible feelings before I do this horrible thing, and this is so everyone knows. I don't think so.
But his notebook had many segments in it where it said he was going to target people in healthcare and how bad healthcare was. Do you believe he wrote those?
Once again, I'm going to say, I just said it's fishy. I was like, I would never bring.
Guys, you gotta clear the sidewalk. Guys, please move to
Fine, we have enough out. Plenty. Let's just see. 20.
But the feds so this is a battle that needs to be fought around. It's like a long row of dominoes, hundreds and hundreds.
This is the last time I'm going to say, guys, clear the sidewalk. All media,
They want the story to be eventually.
Yeah, I love that. Here, I can write down. I wrote everything in this notebook, but I'll write down my info. I'll write down my YouTube too. Appreciate you.
I know, but my issue was with the media, not with the.
Anything else?
Okay.
Excuse me, why are you here supporting a person?
I said, why are you here supporting someone? I should have said accused of killing someone, whatever.
And what did he
I
say?
don't like what you said. It's leading? Like, but I kind of set up a question. I said, you did it. So the surveillance video was, I guess everyone's got evidence.
No, I like what he did. Oh, just get that lawyer.
No, not at all.
Wake up, you face.
Too many heads. This is my firearm. Yeah. My
I won that Lance album, remember?
Yeah.
Where you going? One day.
Your boy had to fight over it because he said it's war. I might retire.
Yeah, fuck Roy. I'm taking that.
I'm retiring with the camera and all.
And the viewfinder.
You can have the lobby. All right. You get it.
So that was the one in live?
Yeah, got that all back.
Okay. Can I have the key? Oh, I left it there? And my IS. Actually, I need my IS.
You need everything?
No, just the key.
Whose glasses are those? Your glasses?
Mine.
I need my cafe. All right.
What's your cafe?
I'm being leady. Leady.
I'll give you $50.
Wow, look at this guy.
Roger.
Oh, that's a...
It's been a while. There you go. So cute. Oh, Poppy. But she loves him so much. She literally like... Really? Yes. The first like 4 months of her life, he would sit there every morning for a case, and she's obsessed with him. Like obsessed. She just tried going to get
Pop star.
where he sat, and I was like, no. Oh my goodness,
Pop star.
She loves when there's a case. Right? He loves him. Very good. Come on. Let's go.
That's what you do. So in college, I got a copy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah, girl come to you. Oh, yeah. We can't go live. We can't go live. We're done. That's it. Hey, what the hell is come on my feet?
Friday, should just go back to the one, right? Because I'm always
She was like, he's the one holding the door. Like,
It was when it was on the other side. No. That day, no. There was nobody. But the other time, the last time, we did the 2-second walk on the floor. They had all the media. Way back. Way back. Curtis, so you know this is
Yeah, you have to like
Good morning.
I would do a 10. Do it the first slide, right? Go.
All right, good morning to everyone out there. We are live now, and you're taking a live look, as you know, at what's happening down in Lower Manhattan today. We are awaiting Luigi Mangione arriving at state court this morning. We're expecting that that's going to happen any moment, so he's going to walk down that hallway. I don't believe that's him. That looks like some of the prosecuting attorneys who are walking in there. I think we saw one of the defense attorneys entering a bit earlier. Those may have actually been the defense attorneys. So that's the media, just to set the scene for you, on both sides of the aisle, both sides of the hallway there. So as he comes walking in, you can expect that there will be a lot of questions that will be yelled to him. And so what we're going to do when that happens is I'll drop out and we'll bring this shot up full. And so you will be able to hear some of the people there. It really looks like on the right side, those look like media members. On the left side, it appears to be the same. This case not only drawing sort of traditional media, the major outlets, the CNNs, the Fox News, the MSNBC, CBS, etc., but also some of those true crime bloggers, those live streamers. So I think you're getting a good mix of this out there this morning. So again, Luigi Mangione in New York court today. Big deal that this is state court. So since it's state court, we are getting the video footage from inside. When he has his federal side of the case, it'll be in the federal building down there in Lower Manhattan, and you won't have some of these pictures inside. So again, this is New York State Court. Mangione, the 27-year-old Ivy League graduate accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, his case so well known. I remember on that December morning, it was very cold that morning, I was actually working, and right as I got off the set at 7 o'clock, the executive producer here came and said, "Hey, we've had a shooting in Midtown. We need you to go right away." There's crimes that happen at all times throughout the day. This was different. We had a different feeling about what was happening here because we'd already started to get word that this was maybe a targeted killing. We'd heard that it was maybe someone who had been waiting, who had been walking around in this area, and then there was the shooting. So I went down there immediately. We had a photographer who was waiting there, and he had some of the first pieces of footage that we saw. And that particular photographer, he's one of those old school photogs who listens to the police scanner. He was there before some of the EMS workers, and he actually saw them giving CPR to the healthcare CEO, United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. So we had that video. Fox 5, Good Day New York had that footage almost right away. And of course the manhunt then was underway for the killer. It came out later that this looked like it was a targeted killing because of who Brian Thompson was, because he was the healthcare CEO of United Healthcare, and the manhunt underway. Eventually, a suspect is discovered at that McDonald's out in Pennsylvania. That suspect then identified as Luigi Mangione, 27 years old, an Ivy League graduate accused of gunning down Brian Thompson outside the Hilton Hotel, Midtown Manhattan. He's back in state court today. This is described as a pivotal hearing. So we're taking a live look right here. Sometimes they have to focus in a little bit, make sure they have the right focus, and then they'll take that wider view when he comes walking in. It's going to be very brief when he walks in. He'll walk right down that hallway. He'll walk right into the courthouse, the courtroom, I should say. It's going to happen fast. And so when it does happen, you can be sure that I will not be talking. We'll bring that up full so that you can see it yourself, because I'm sure that's why a lot of people are tuning in today, but we wanted to give you a little bit of context about what is actually happening while we're waiting. Okay, so it looks like some of the media members are being allowed to go inside, or maybe it's to an overcrowding room. Sometimes when they have too many people expected in the courtroom, they send people to a separate room where they can watch the proceeding and what's happening. Mangione indicted 11 state counts, including murder as an act of terrorism. He's pleaded not guilty. He's pleaded not guilty to all those charges. His defense team is asking the judge to actually dismiss the terrorism counts and to suppress key evidence seized during his December arrest, including a potential weapon that was involved, a notebook prosecutors say outlined plans to kill the health insurance executive. There's our Lisa Evers. You can see her on the right side of the screen walking in just now. She'll be one of the media members who will be in the courtroom when all of this is happening. So you can see that this is members of the press who are now filing in, so we're expecting Mangione potentially to be walking in at any moment as well. Now, prosecutors, they want the judge this morning to force Mangione's lawyers to disclose whether they intend to pursue an insanity or psychiatric defense. So there's going to be a lot of action that's going to happen today. Mangione last appeared in his state case in February. He was arraigned on separate federal charges in April. So that's significant. There's the state charges and there are the federal charges. And in a lot of ways, what his defense team wants is to argue that this is going to be a double jeopardy. He can't have these two cases going on at the same time. So there's a really big debate within the legal community about which case may go first. And if it's fair, if there's a double jeopardy situation that's involved here. Anybody who's followed this case, I mean, you know how high profile it was. It was Midtown Manhattan. It was a shooting. It was this manhunt that lasted for 5 days. They eventually arrested him at a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. He was extradited back to New York. There was a lot of publicity that went with it. He was flown in, then marched right up along the West Side. Huge police presence. He was surrounded by security. The mayor was sort of in the background, Mayor Eric Adams at that point. He was paraded, essentially. His defense team really objected to the way he was treated at that point. And then he was taken into federal custody and and he remains within the federal detention, and he is actually at the same facility where Sean Diddy Combs has been for the last year or so. Today's hearing could determine whether the state case proceeds as charged and whether those terrorism designation, those particular charges will survive, and whether jurors will ever see some of the most explosive evidence in the case. So he's scheduled to appear in state court. It should happen any minute. So if people want to ask us questions while we wait, we do have a lot of information about what's happening. I'm going to continue to sort of talk about it to fill some of this time as we wait. But if you have a question, if you have a comment, if you want to weigh in about what's happening, we know that sometimes the YouTube page for Fox 5 and these live streams that we have really becomes a community where people want to sort of engage in some of the discussions and things along those lines. So we're at this point, we're just waiting. Wanted to go over a couple of the key elements of what we're looking at here. The judge theoretically, may not happen, but theoretically could agree with the defense to throw out all or part of the state's case, which would leave only the federal prosecution to proceed. You see the woman's shirt there? It says Free Luigi. So clearly some of the supporters that he has, some of the people who have gained and started to follow his every move. You can see it appears a lot of them are carrying those yellow postcards. Not sure if that's something that was handed out by the judge as essentially a ticket, or if that's something that has any particular meaning. We could look into that. But of course, there are a lot of people who believe in what Luigi Mangione did and the reasons why there has been some of the allegations of why he did it. That's the whole debate. He's pleaded not guilty, so you can't say he did it for this particular reason. But some of the issues when it comes to the cost of healthcare, the fairness within the healthcare industry, some of those things have really taken hold, and so we've seen a lot of people who've become supporters. Also, some people have started to write kind of fan mail to follow his every move. So that's something else that the judge has to weigh here because of the notoriety, the publicity, the popularity in some sense of Luigi Mangione. Whenever his case happens, it's going to get a lot of attention. There's going to be supporters who are outside the courtroom. There's also going to be detractors, family members who are involved. Someone did lose their life, so a lot that goes into it. Now there's the terrorism designation, and the state has charged Mangione under statutes normally used for acts of political violence. They are labeling the killing a terrorism-related offense. The judge, Judge Caro, C-A-R-R-O, Caro, will decide whether that particular label holds up, or, okay, here we go, some of the, no, they're a little too relaxed for Mangione to come walking in at this moment. We can see too many smiles. You can probably get a sense that it's going to be a little more tense when he does walk in. So the judge is going to maybe make a decision on that. I don't know if the judge is actually going to release his decision today, or if he's going to hear some of the evidence that both sides will present, or the arguments, I should say, that both sides will present, and then, you know, he'll have a decision in a couple days from now that'll just sort of be released. So we'll see what happens with that. Don't necessarily think that's going to be something that'll happen in the next hour or so, but certainly possible. So the defense, they also want to suppress what they call tainted evidence, including handwritten note, journal, a diary, however you want to describe it, attributed to Mangione, and a firearm that was seized during the arrest. The court must rule on whether that material was obtained legally and can be presented to the jury. So when we kind of think about what the core argument is going to be for the defense, at least today, again, a very early proceeding on the state side of this case. This is not the federal side, this is the state case. As we look at some of the deputy sheriffs there who are in charge of security, who we assume are going to be escorting Mangione into the courtroom at any moment. We're expecting that will happen. They've had media members on both sides of the aisle there where you can see that roped off area. There were crowds that were there, and those crowds have since been cleared out. People have since moved into the courtroom. So we're assuming that Mangione is going to be moving down here at any moment. So essentially the defense's core argument is that Mangione is facing basically the same murder accusation twice, once in federal court and once in state court. And they're invoking the constitutional protection against what's known as double jeopardy. People are probably very familiar with double jeopardy. If you're watching this YouTube feed, you are probably very aware of many of the true crime genre and some of the legal terms that go with it. But essentially, double jeopardy bars someone from being tried twice for the same offense. I'm not trying to give any simple explanation. A lot of people probably know that, but essentially that's what it is. And now, although federal and state governments are technically separate, of course, when it comes to the courts, they can bring parallel cases. Courts sometimes dismiss one if the charges overlap too closely or appear punitive. And there is a little bit of give and take, pulling on one side because it's a high-profile case, and there are two prosecuting sides who want to take the case, whether it's the Manhattan DA's office or whether it's going to be the federal prosecutors. It's a high-profile case. Both of them want their crack at it. The question is which one is going to go first, and if both sides will be able to proceed. And that's one of the things that the judge is going to be looking at today. Now, if Judge Caro sides with the defense, I mean, that's basically going to wipe out the state's case, or at least the most serious counts, leaving only the federal prosecution side there. If he denies the motion, both cases would continue, at least for now, and there could be very different timelines for the trial. And when you think about it, there could be different timelines for the trial, but a lot of the same players, a lot of the same witness experts, a lot of the same witnesses themselves, maybe people who heard the shot that morning, maybe people who saw the suspect believed to be Mangione sort of in the area at the time of the shooting. So some of those people, will they have to testify twice? Will they only have to testify in New York court? Will they then have to come back to testify in the federal court? Some of the evidence experts, maybe some handwriting experts when it comes to who may have written the note. and certainly some of the other folks who may be involved. I want to talk a little bit more, just if we could, about the terrorism designation here. It gets a little complicated because New York's anti-terrorism laws were created for acts meant to intimidate or coerce the public or government. So this case, prosecutors say, falls into that because they've applied this to Mangione, claiming the killing of a health insurance executive was part of a larger campaign meant to send a message or frighten an industry. So again, let's just sort of hit that again. He's being charged in state court under the anti-terrorism laws created for acts meant to intimidate or coerce the public or government. And here these prosecutors say that, look, Mangione killed Brian Thompson because he was trying to send a message to the healthcare industry that he said was corrupt, that he said was wrong. Those are the allegations. That's what they have to prove in court. He's pleaded not guilty, so you can't say that definitively he's the one who has done any of these crimes, because that's how the system works. The judge here has got to decide whether prosecutors have enough evidence to move and to have enough evidence of motive and intent specifically to sustain the terrorism charges, which have a different level of commitment than just, say, a murder charge. If he removes the terrorism label, the case becomes a straight homicide prosecution. And if he keeps it, the stakes rise dramatically because terrorism counts carry heavier penalties and frame the case as political violence rather than a personal crime. So that's essentially what's at stake with the judge's decision today. So again, if you're just joining us, and we know a lot of you are, feel free to throw a question out there. Feel free to enter a comment if you want to. We can respond to that. We can talk about it. Our YouTube page often becomes a community for people who are interested in these kind of things. Live stakeout right now, Lower Manhattan, New York State Court, where, believe it or not, we actually believe Harvey Weinstein, the disgraced movie mogul, is going to be at some point later on today, and some of the lingering issues with his case. We actually talked to legal expert Arthur Aidala in our Lawyered Up segment, who is Weinstein's attorney. He said that he's going to be down at the courtroom today. He also said, Aidala, that this case, the Mangione case, has become just fascinating for many in the legal experts, and especially those in the New York legal world, because there is this debate about which side is going to go first. Is it going to be the federal case? Is it going to be the state case? And there is this tug of war between these two offices. Both sides want to go first. And so the defense says you can't do this twice. And that's why they want the judge to throw out some of these charges. So there's also issues that have to do with specific pieces of evidence that may come up with the case, and they could be very damning. Journal, diary, notebook, whatever you want to say. Investigators say they recovered a handwritten notebook in which Mangione allegedly outlined his grievances, his plans. The defense may argue it was seized without a valid warrant, that it's protected by privacy rights, and that it was taken under coercive circumstances. So judge is going to have to decide about that. You imagine if you have something handwritten from a suspect that says, hey, I'm going to do this, and this is the reason why, that's a pretty big piece of evidence. So a pretty big decision for the judge on that. It could be detrimental, obviously, for the prosecution if they were to lose that particular piece of evidence. If not, you just sort of move forward with it, how it goes. Firearm seized at arrest. A gun allegedly found when Mangione was taken into custody could really be a linchpin of the prosecution's case. The defense could claim improper search and seizure, chain of custody problems, or contamination of evidence. And Judge Caro, that's the judge here, I was talking to somebody who knows a great deal about what happens within the court system of New York, and I asked him, I said, is this judge is he gonna give any weight to the notoriety and the publicity that's surrounding this case? Judge Caro is his name. Judge C-A-R-R-O. Judge Caro is the one who is, at this moment, presiding over this part of the Mangione case, at least when it comes to the court side. Gregory Caro. I just want to find his name. I have a document here. And they said, you know what, this is a hardened judge. This is a very experienced judge. they are not going to let some of the publicity surrounding it speed up, slow down, disrupt a timeline that they think is best. So that's something that we do want to watch, because, you know, there's going to be people out there. We already saw people with Free Luigi T-shirts today in this courtroom, in that hallway. We saw them with those Free Luigi shirts as they came walking in. And so we know that this is going to be something that the judge is going to have to weigh on. I actually have a letter here. This is the letter that the defense team wrote to the judge, sort of outlining some of their concerns. Kind of the first line here is, as the court is aware, the defense has been directed to provide notice of the defense's intention of offering evidence pursuant to Criminal Procedure Law 250-10, no later than August 25th, 2025. We write to request additional time to determine whether we will be serving such notice for reasons that we would be willing to provide to the court. What does that mean? Translation. So in some ways, the defense is also asking for more time to put together some of their part of the argument. It kind of goes on to say, because the people have yet to complete their full production of discovery. Discovery is when you get all the evidence, you get all the videos, the messages, all the evidence that the prosecution has, have yet to complete their full production of discovery. And because no trial, or indeed even a pre-trial hearing, has been scheduled, there is no prejudice to the people from the delay requested here. They also argue about his Fifth Amendment rights, due process, and self-incrimination, because that's what's at stake here. So this is the letter that they recently wrote, some of the stuff that they're going to be talking about today. It's available, and you know where I found this? Luigi Mangione has, when he was arrested, almost immediately, there was a GoFundMe defense account that was set up for him, set up essentially by people who are supporters of his. They raised tens of thousands of dollars instantly, a lot of money right away. And that particular website, I'm going to look it up. I think it's luigimangione.com, pretty basically. I think it's his website that he created, and he puts updates on there about everything that's happened. Yeah, luigimangione.info.com. luigimangione.info.com. And I wanted to read a little bit about something that they said recently. Before I say that, we can set the scene just a little bit here. State Court, Lower Manhattan. This is the live stakeout of Luigi Mangione, expected to be escorted in to the courtroom, Judge Gregory Caro's courtroom. We're expecting that's going to happen at any minute. There were media members outside. Those media members have since been moved inside. And Mangione, 27 years old, Ivy League graduate, accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of that Hilton Hotel, Midtown Manhattan. I was there that morning. You know, if the shooting happened when it was dark, it was early. There's that cell phone video, there's that surveillance video, security camera footage, where you see this individual masked walk up behind Brian Thompson, raise the weapon, firing. Thompson killed. When I got there that morning, it was freezing cold, and I actually talked to an Uber driver who was there that morning, who was waiting for somebody, because it's a busy hotel, and there was a conference that was happening out there, which is what Brian Thompson was attending. And as we were talking to him, I mean, one thing he said that stood out, and it was a quote that then was repeated, and something that essentially will become a part of the state's case, most likely. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
That's what he said.
Luigi, how you feeling? How you doing, sir? Good?
You can answer me, Roy. My feelings are hurt.
I know. I mean, you're such a nice guy.
I'll put my camera below you.
What's that?
I'll put my long camera out.
All right, if I be located over there? Yeah.
All right, so we were just taking a live look inside of New York State Court. Did you miss it? Did you blink? It was about 3 seconds. Luigi Mangione walked in. We are now taking our live shot from outside the courtroom. Mike, can we bring that shot back up, the other one from inside? All right, so this is what it looks like inside right now. You can see it's still a little chaotic. This is where the press pen is. Our photographer turned his camera around because Mangione had walked through, and then he walked down this hallway just beyond into that courtroom right there. You see Judge Gregory Caro, Part 32, room number 1000. I think that said. So he'd walk through the hallway there. He walked down past the gates and into that courtroom there. If you blinked, you may have missed it. I got a little video here on my phone. Let's see if you can see that. It's just the tail end of it as he comes walking in. So essentially when he walks in, it just happens very fast. He walks by the cameras. He goes down through that back hallway. They screamed a couple questions at him. The questions were essentially, how are you feeling today? How are you doing? He didn't answer. He was wearing his similar, just sort of detainee garb, like the one-piece kind of jumpsuit. He had on a dark shirt underneath, so he had on a beige jumpsuit, and I'm trying to get this so it comes into focus there so you can see it. There we go. Is that it? Yeah, that's it right there. So you take a close look. He's right there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So that's the look that we got. It happened so fast. I had my camera ready. I was ready to get the video. It happened really quick. We had it live here, so for everyone who was tuned in live to our feed that we've had up since 8:45 this morning, because we know how many people care about what's happening with the Mangione case. You did see it. If you blinked, then you missed it. And this was, I can show you just the tail end of it here, just as he walks in. All right, so just there. So let's take a look one last time. Okay, yeah, there. You see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that's where he walks in. They're taking photos, and he walks past. He then goes into that door that you're looking at, right? Yeah, that one right there. He goes in there. We know the prosecutors are in there. The defense team is in there. There's a huge media contingent that's in there as well. And so that's what's going on. So Mangione just walked in. Prosecution's in the courtroom. Mangione's in the courtroom. The defense is in the courtroom. So here we go. This hearing today. We're just going to recap it really quickly. We know a lot of you people have been watching this for the last 45 minutes or so, waiting to see what's going to happen. Mangione did just walk in. This is the state courtroom. Media members still outside. Some of these folks will literally stand there all day just to get the one shot for when he comes back out. So Mangione recapping this very quickly, 27 years old. He's an Ivy League graduate. He's accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. That happened outside the Hilton Hotel, Midtown Manhattan. Happened last December. After that, there was this manhunt that lasted several days. Eventually, they tracked down Mangione. His arrest, the stakeout, the social media photos, the debate about whether or not he did it for the reasons of a defiance of the healthcare system, reasons of people being turned away because of the healthcare in the United States and the way the system is run, that this was an example of somebody taking essentially a vigilante justice. All those debates unfolding on social media, all those debates leading to the notoriety of this case. And then there are others who are just general fans of Mangione, people who have kind of called out, they say he's good looking on social media. They've created this GoFundMe page to raise money for his defense. He comes from a pretty well-off family, so whether or not he needs that defense fund is a different story. He's got two and three of the most high-powered legal defense strategists and attorneys that you can have in the New York City area. This case, what's going to happen here at this hearing right now? Well, Mangione was indicted on 11 state counts. Murder as an act of terrorism is the key one here. He's pleaded not guilty to all the charges. So what's going to happen in this courtroom today? Gregory Caro is the judge for this state case. Mangione's defense team is asking the judge to dismiss the terrorism counts and to suppress key evidence during his December arrest, including a handgun and a notebook or a diary, whatever you want to say. The prosecutors say outline plans to kill that healthcare executive. On the other side, prosecutors want to force Mangione's lawyers to disclose whether or not they intend to pursue an insanity defense or a psychiatric defense. I actually had this letter here. I picked it up from, let's see if we can get it in focus. Yeah, there we go. From the Agnifilo team, which is the team representing Mangione. This is the letter that they actually wrote to the judge back in August, where they kind of outline some of their reasoning. All right, so I've just got something just off the wire here. So. This is from the Associated Press. New York judge tosses terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione. Lets murder count stand in United Healthcare CEO killing. So Mangione walked in that courtroom 5 minutes ago, and within the last 30 seconds, we do have an update here. This is very significant. New York judge tosses terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, lets murder count stand in United Healthcare CEO killing. So that is one thing that the defense team had been asking for. I want to go through that real quickly, because the terrorism designation, when it comes to these charges, the state had said that Mangione, under statutes normally used for acts of political violence, labeling the killing as terrorism. So essentially, the judge had to decide whether that label holds up or if it should be struck down from the indictment. I want to dig a little bit more into that, because again, the update that we just got, just handed to us from let's see if we can get up closer. No, it's not close. Okay, well, this is from the Associated Press, and this says, New York judge tosses terrorism charges against Luigi Mangione, lets murder count stand in United Healthcare CEO killing. So if we go a little bit deeper into that, New York's anti-terrorism laws were created for acts meant to intimidate or coerce the public or government. So the state had actually applied this to the Mangione case. They claim that the killing of the healthcare insurance executive was part of a larger campaign meant to send a message to frighten the industry. So that's why they used those terrorism charges, the heavier count. A judge today, Judge Gregory Caro, has decided that prosecutors did not have enough evidence of motive and intent to sustain that particular terrorism charges, so just the murder charge remains. Murder obviously still a very significant case, but this is a win for the Mangione defense team. If the judge, which it appears he does, has removed that terrorism label, the case then becomes a straight homicide prosecution. If he had kept it, the stakes would rise dramatically because terrorism counts carry heavier penalties, and the frame of the case is political violence rather than a personal crime. So that's very significant from the judge that just came down in Lower Manhattan. breaking news. You might see it come across, your own headlines there. So here we go. A little bit more. Counts 1 and 2, charging defendant with murder in the first degree, murder in the second degree as a crime of terrorism, dismissed. Legally insufficient. Legally insufficient. You guys are tuning into this feed because this is where Luigi Mangione had just walked into that courtroom. If you blinked, you missed the shot because it happened very quickly. But I did get a little bit of video here so you can see it. I'm just going to show it on my phone because, yeah, there we go. Okay, so so look at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You can see as he walks in. All right, so one more time. He's going to come up. It's going to be the bottom right-hand corner of the screen that you see there. Not the best video because it happened very quickly. So that was when Mangione walked in the courtroom at 9:28. By 9:35, we have this update from the judge that they have decided to dismiss the terrorism charges from the case. Now, one thing that the defense also has argued is that this has the danger of being a double jeopardy situation because there are these state cases and there are these state charges, but there's also a federal case that's moving forward. So the other debate here is which case would get tried first. What would happen? Okay, be careful what you take a picture of. Okay, he's taking a picture of somebody over there. All right. The debate would be which case would go forward. And so that part of the conversation has not been decided yet. I was talking to a legal expert just yesterday, and they were telling me that this has become a big debate within a lot of the legal people, the attorneys, the judges, the prosecutors, the defense attorneys, within the legal sort of community in New York courts of, well, who's going to take this case? Because both sides are tugging at this. Both sides want a piece of the Mangione case because of some of the significance that's happening here. So that's a big deal that just came down. Just to kind of put some of this in perspective as we kind of wrap up this part of it. We've been on now for about an hour or so. When this happened, it was a December morning. It was early. I don't know if you guys remember, like around this time, we were getting a lot of subway crimes. There were all these sort of things that were happening in the city. People kind of felt on edge. And then you heard this shooting in Midtown. And it happened in the morning. And it happened, and it sounded like it was a targeted killing. It wasn't like a robbery. It wasn't like a snatch and grab of a chain or something like that. The first word that we got that morning was that there was somebody who was waiting outside of this hotel for somebody to come, and that person then executed the other person. That was at 7 o'clock. I walked off the set. Good day, wake up. I took the subway down, caught the train right at 63rd and 3rd, took it right down to Midtown. You get there, there's a huge police presence. I remember as I was walking up, I took note that, I don't know if you've been into that area of Midtown, but sometimes there's these sort of little alleyways between the streets, not between the avenues, but between the streets. And they're kind of like cut into the buildings. And it's kind of like a public space. And they sometimes have benches, little, kind of like community private parks there. And I remember that there were detectives who were working there, and they were like looking on the ground. And I remember thinking, like, what are they looking for? And it turns out that that's the way the suspect had gone. So there was the shooting that happened outside the hotel. The suspect then ran off, came through one of these alleyways, hopped on a bike, rode the bike, dropped the bike. There was this manhunt that lasted several days. Eventually it led to Mangione. Okay, looks like something's happening here. Looks like something's happening. Okay, maybe we'll go full. We'll go full here.
How you feeling, Luigi?
What do you want to say to Christian D?
Sorry. No, you're good.
Not sure. Are they wrapped? Okay. Yeah, we can need to.
Thanks, Mike.
Fed lawyers just monitoring.
Probably, yeah. Come some more people. Yeah. Defense team, defense. These are defense lawyers.
What do we have left? Prosecution. Nope. There was people?
Yeah.
Just people.
Public. No, you're fine.
Going in and going out. Thanks for watching.
I just can't. They can't figure it out.
Sorry about that. Quick question. So Jericho was saying in the actual piece, there was information that's now outdated. So are you guys editing the piece? She outlines the charges, and one of those charges is gotten dropped. Two of them. I'm just gonna do this social then because, you know, so I was inside the courtroom where they just had a hearing for Luigi Mangione. He appeared very calm when he walked in. The hearing did not last long. The judge said that they are dismissing the first and second murder counts that are related to terrorism, but keeping the murder in the second degree with the intent to murder someone. We will continue to follow the story, but that is the latest in terms of what just happened inside the court. Oh, right, yeah. I just left the courtroom where there was a hearing for Luigi Mangione. What happened inside the courtroom, I think, shocked some people when following this case. The charges for first and second degree murder related to terrorism were dropped, but the judge said that the charges for second degree murder with the intent to kill someone is count 1 and 2, first and second degree